Good morning, everyone. More
Morning.
life outdoors here. And we have Tracy and Kimberly here with Wonders Chasing Horizons. And we are getting ready to go on an ATV ride up over Loon Creek Summit down to the Diamond D Ranch and beyond.
And beyond. So as always, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget about giving some love to Tracy and Kimberly on their channel. Anything else, love?
Nope, it's gonna be a great day.
So let's ride.
Let's ride.
One of the many old cabins hidden up here in the forest. A lot of these were old mining cabins or people who worked at the mine. Some of these are even old homestead cabins. Some kind of old shed. Oh look, there's an outhouse back there. Maybe we should go check out the outhouse. I know, you've seen many in my photos and pictures, but hey, it's part of the old life. See, look, an old-fashioned one-holer. Yeah, they look like samples, like dig samples. But the thing is there's a whole bunch more in here.
Yeah, a ton of them. That's
They're all busted up. That's what the way they're marked and stuff. I wonder if they're like samples they've pulled out of a mine that they were planning on processing to check to see what they had, but obviously they can't be that old. Another old cabin. Of course, we don't go inside. Should I take some pictures through the door here? Looks like an old oil stove is in there. Some old lockers. Look at that. chairs. Like remnants of an old bed. Linseed oil. Old oil stove heater. That's what that looks like. Maybe wood. Looks very similar to the oil heater that was in Grandma's cabin.
What is all this stuff right here? Right over there is the old Hecla mine. It's not in operation anymore. Only ran for about 4 years, from 1994 to 1998, I believe. That's where we're going. 12 miles to the Diamond D Ranch and the guard station, but we're going to be going about 5 miles past that to the Tin Cup Campground. And then here's some information on the Frank Church Wilderness. Wildlife you can see here, the pikas, wolverines, which we've seen one wolverine, black bears, and then this talks about the fish. Kimberly's gonna throw a snowball. Uh-oh. Tracy's gonna make a snow angel. It's a little hard.
Snow angel needs to go on a diet.
That looks more like a snow walrus.
Yeah.
Rather than a snow angel. Really?
Uh-oh. Snow fight.
Missed.
What, you don't want me to miss? Okay. Ready? I didn't miss that time. Snowball fight in June. Woo!
So we are at Mr. Creek, right here. Loon Creek, and that's where they converge. And now, this is Loon Creek.
Welcome to Casto. Look at that fireplace. Isn't that something? Of course, the rock walls. That fireplace. Well, they took the engine out of this one at least. Phone 3971. Look at that old. What's that? Oregon City? Yeah, interesting. Look at that, the old wood. What's left of the old wood bed? Guessing the tailgate's gone. People collect those.
Reclines look better for some of the cars I'm looking at.
What? Well, one of the spring bumpers is still here. Still in Casto. Here's an old flatbed, what's left of it anyways. Gas tank still in there. Another old Chevy.
Oro Grande was a boom town of 1,500 people that sprang up here as a result of a gold strike in 1869. Prosperity was short-lived, and by 1871 the town was all but abandoned. In 1879, the last of the inhabitants, a group of Chinese miners, fled to the little town site of Custer after being attacked by sheep-eater Indians.
So here's an old delivery van.
Finding a new home? Cool.
Where are we going, Kimberly? Looks like you're driving.
I'm driving.
Well, that would explain why no engine.
Yep.
That's cool. I bet you this was maybe like a camper.
Yeah, it
They
probably
took
was.
the engine out and just towed it like a camper.
Yep.
Very possible, or like to use as like a cargo van.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is it's still got the original grill.
There's a motor over there though.
Oh, that's where the motor is at.
Motor? Oh, I think that motor's a little big for that. Look at the size of the pistons. Whew. That's one big 4-cylinder.
Yeah, it is. Think that could have been out of the drag line?
I don't know. Can't tell. I think it's diesel too, because I don't see any spark plugs. The size of the pistons too would make sense. Yeah, I can't. But yeah, the size of those pistons, I'd say this was a 4-cylinder diesel.
Yep. That's how you handle it, isn't it?
Look at this old cargo van. We noticed though, of course, no engine. We noticed an A-frame on the front, so we were wondering if this was towed up here and just used as a cargo unit, like a cargo van. This looks very similar to the one, the crane at the dredge, except this is definitely set up as a drag line. You see the upper assembly? And actually there's the drag line bucket right there too. Northwest Engineering Company, Chicago, Illinois, manufactured at Green Bay, Wisconsin. Here's an old drag line bucket. Obviously this thing's been repaired a few times over the years. This is an actual manufactured one, not like the one we saw earlier that was kind of redneck engineered, as I call it. There's the control booth over there. You can actually see a lever, or looks like 3 different levers up there still in there. The old winch drive right here. Lots of rodent poop. A Coors can.
What's this? A big nest? Somebody's made a big nest here.
That's your winch drum. Mechanical brake. There's the brake pad right here. It's part of the mechanical brake assembly. And then look, here's all these levers right here. Pedals. And then actual levers to operate. There's a foot lever down there. Brake. Looks like a brake assembly here. There's the winch drum, but you can see the winch cable is gone. Somebody has taken it. There's one little cable right there. Pretty cool.
Gross.
Look who came up.
It's gross in here.
But noticing again, this is your winch drum. This pad, inner pad, you have an inner pad here and an outer pad. This is part of the brake for the winch drum on here. This is mechanical brake, but the winches on the dredge, our Yankee Fork dredge, they are hydraulic.
Nice little campground here. Plus, it's a pretty nice little pit toilet out here in the middle of nowhere in Tin Cup Campground. There you go. Look at that. This sign talks about the Oro Grande Massacre and the subsequent sheep-eater war that ensued. The incident is sometimes referred to as the Loon Creek Massacre. On February 12, 1879, 5 Chinese miners were murdered at the Oro Grande mining camp in central Idaho. Local officials claimed that Native Americans, members of the Western Shoshone tribe, known as the Sheep-Eaters, who had lived in the region for many years, were to blame. The Sheep-Eaters denied responsibility for the killings, and no evidence ever connected them to the deaths. Years later, some white miners claimed that other whites had killed the Chinese for the small amount of gold they had in their camp. Still, at the time, the military took advantage of accusations and initiated what became known as the Sheep-Eater Indian War. The Army pursued the Sheep-Eater people through central Idaho for many months, and in October 1879, the remaining members of the tribe surrendered. They spent the rest of their lives on the Fort Hall Reservation in southeast Idaho. No one was ever charged with the murders of the Chinese miners.
Whoa!
I got wet. Did you catch it on tape?
Uh-huh.
All right.
I'm fine.
Don't twist an ankle.
Just for pride.
I don't have pride.
Yeah, we don't have pride anymore.
Oh my.
So Tracy and Kimberly had never seen a wilderness toilet before.
No.
And for those of our viewers who have not seen one before, this is what it consists of. But be aware, bring your own toilet paper. It's only 2 walls to kind of shield you from the trail.
I should have made it the other way around so you had a view like.
So here's the Loon Creek trailhead. You are 11 miles from Falconberry Guard Station, 22 miles from the Middle Fork of the Salmon. A couple years ago, Michelle and I, we went into the Loon Creek Hot Springs, which is roughly 5.5 miles from here. And then we went a little further to Warm Springs to actually camp. And then we came back out the next day. Hi, Mama. You all by yourself? Actually, that's not a mama. That's a little spike buck, actually.
So here we have another wilderness toilet, but this one is actually so that it's the view
the view from this. Let me show you. Loon Creek. Over this direction. Pretty cool view. There's a bitter brush. It is in full bloom. Let me tell you something. It smells amazing. Alright, so there's Loon Creek. Spectacular views, if you ask me. Nelson Creek. It's really roaring right now. Doesn't normally look like this. Never noticed this little cabin sitting here before, and I cannot tell you how many times we've been up over Loon Creek Summit and never seen this sitting here before. That's so interesting. Little shelves, an old stove. Look at that. It's kind of a cute little cabin. Another shelf, window.
Boots sitting in the middle of the floor. Yep.
Over here?
Huh?
Pair of boots in here?
Yeah, sitting right in the middle of the floor.
What is that? Pair of boots. And a blanket. Oh. There's a pair of boots in here. Oh, it's creepy. Y'all, this is freaking creepy. Look at all the fingerprints on the walls over here. What in the world? Handprints all over the wall. That's kind of creepy. Actually a pretty good sized building. Wow, big tree landed on it. Surprised I didn't make it cave in. Pretty cool. It's actually built into the side of the hill. That's the back side. All caved in. I guess they had like a root cellar or something back over here where it's all caved in at. Well, they survived.
Survived.
They both survived. We didn't kill them.
Oh, awesome time.
It was
But
awesome.
did we keep our promise? An adventure.
An adventure.
That was an adventure.
That bug was huge.
What bug? Oh, buck.
Buck,
I thought you said
the
bug.
buck
The one that went up the hill?
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
missed and didn't get on
He was
camera.
good size.
Yeah. Anyways, we made it back to camp. It was a good adventure.
Yes, it was.
See you guys on the next one. I think we're all tired and hungry
so.
because I didn't even know what time it is. What time is it?
No idea.
20 to 8.
Oh my goodness. Yikes. It was a long day. All right, we'll see y'all later.
It was worth it.
Yeah, it was.
We would like to thank you for watching our video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's free and it really helps our channel out a lot. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future adventures. We will see you soon on our next adventure. And remember, get outdoors and experience life.